Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Your host, Frank Holder, sitting here with you. Let's get ready to get the show started where we talk about sports with comedians. My man, Talent, is in the building. See what's going on, bro. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, it's Monday, man. The weather's wonderful. I think I'm motivated. I think I'm good.
All right, there it is. He's motivated and he's good. My man, Fig, is also in the building. What's up, Fig?
Hey man, listen, it is such a difficult job being this gorgeous on a Monday morning, but you know,
Yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm able to do it. I have no problem.
Yeah. I was talking about me, but you go ahead and take that.
Okay. I thought you were referring to me. I was like, oh, I'm good.
Pause. That's the first pause for the day.
And it is let's get started on a Monday morning, first thing after NFL weekend, man. We're gonna jump into it because there's a lot of things that jumped off. I'm waiting for the rest of the guys to come in. I saw some breaking news that happened literally 10 seconds ago before we got on the air about Floyd Mayweather. He's facing off against a YouTuber named Deji. Mayweather confirmed this news, and it'll be his fourth exhibition bout since he retired from professional boxing. So it looked like he got two professional bouts coming up literally in the span of a year. And we were talking about him last week about whether he's broke or not. And I don't know. I think he's bored. I think it's boredom.
I think it would have to be the most impossible thing for him to be broke. That's first of all. I can't see that. That would blow my mind with the damn stratosphere. I think he's bored. I don't know, man. I know times are different, but in the old times, the cats did this because they did need the money. The Joe Louis, almost like circus acts. If you've ever seen that movie Mars Attacks, it's funny because there's a part there with Jim Brown where he plays like the retired heavyweight champ or whatever, but he's working in this casino wearing the Egyptian garb or whatever, like as a circus act. So back in the day, the greats, when you seen them do all this type of stuff, they needed the money. I hope he's just bored, though, Frank. I hope he's just bored.
Yeah, I hope so too. But at the end of the day, you never know. Fig, what's happening? What's your thoughts on Mayweather, bro?
I would listen, man. Once you reach the $1 billion range, I would doubt very seriously that he's broke. If you had 10 million, 20 million, I could see somebody running through that. You know what I mean? Like I said last week, I believe when we spoke about it, he is friends with Warren Buffett, and somebody who has a certain amount of money that goes to seek counsel of a financial advisor. The chances of him going broke is probably slim to none. So I would lean to what it is that you're saying, Frank, that he's probably more bored than he is broke.
Rodney Perry has joined the show. Rodney Perry, we talking about Floyd Mayweather. Man, he literally announced this morning that literally about 10 seconds ago, he announced that he has a bout that's coming up against some YouTuber named Deji, who's also a boxer. What's your take on this, RP? You think he's bored? Because some people are trying to create the conversation that he's broke. That's why he's doing it, because he's spending an inordinate amount of money. So people are saying he's broke. That's what the problem is. What you think?
I mean, he not broke. I mean, this is the thing about Floyd Mayweather. And I talked to him last week, and I said, "Look, Floyd," I said, "the reality of that situation is, man, you gotta do something." And people like Floyd, they not happy unless they slapping people. So, so he just trying to find somebody he can slap, man. And that's the truth. And who better to slap than an amateur?
Slap an amateur and not blemish your record, because it is an exhibition, so it doesn't go against his record at all. And other news, man, I also saw this morning, I know we're going to talk about the NFL, but believe it or not, the NFL has officially announced this morning they're doing away with the Pro Bowl. So the Pro Bowl, which has been going on since 1951, will be replaced with the skill competition and a flag football game. So in other words, the NFL players don't have an all-star game, which they can't add to on their resume to be able to help them get more money, because you say, yeah, I've been in 2 Pro Bowls, I've been in 5 Pro Bowls. You could add that onto your contract to help you make more money. The Pro Bowls are gone now, so now you can't even say, yeah, I did such and such Pro Bowls. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What you think, T?
Yo, you know what's crazy? Oh, you talk about budget cuts, flag football,
and skills,
You talk about saving money. Oh, you still got to mow down, pick up some flags, some cones, flag football, bro. First of all, I agree with you. As much, it's our own fault. Let's be real. It's our own fault. We don't tune into it, so eventually, people ain't watching. Sponsors not interested in investing, and it falls by the side. It's kind of our own fault. However, I agree with you, Frank. Every sport has one. Every sport has their version of an all-star game. This is how they accumulate the accolades. You're taking away the accumulation of accolades. So now these same players, the next generation just go, oh yeah, I played 12 years. Lions. How'd you do? I was all right. Ain't no way to try. But somebody be like, yo, I was a beast out there. You was a beast? What'd you do? I played.
Yeah, that's it's as simple as that. See, it's as simple as that. There's no way fake. There's no way to say that you were the best of the best in the NFL if the Pro Bowl is officially over. So, what does the NFL do in your mind to be able to help people who's the best of the best? Because in the NBA, you got the All-Star game. In baseball, you got the All-Star game. In hockey, you got the All-Star game. And NFL, since 1951 now, has no All-Star game.
It's the skills competition, Frank. If you ain't got no skills, you don't get invited. I mean, that's the truth. Listen, I think what people fail to realize is that the NFL is a business, a multi-billion-dollar business. The Pro Bowl ain't making no money. So basically, if nobody's watching the Pro Bowl, that means the advertisers don't want to spend money to advertise while the Pro Bowl is going on. So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So that's why they're doing away with the Pro Bowl and probably trying to put something in that's more entertaining. To be quite honest with you, Major League Baseball has the home run derby, which has gotten a little excitement to it. And I think that's what the NFL is trying to go towards, more like something, the skills competition to kind of compete or be along the same lines as the home run derby in Major League Baseball. And to be quite honest with you, I think people would possibly tune in to be able to see that a lot more than the Pro Bowl, because, in the Pro Bowl, they're really just going through the motions. You can't get hurt. You know what I mean? You don't want to get injured. You don't want to see anybody do anything significant in the Pro Bowl. So it just hasn't drawn.
It's not about doing something in the game, Fig. It's about being picked to make your resume go up that you're all pro that year. It's not necessarily what you do. It's just like any other All-Star game. Nobody's out there trying to give it their all, get hurt. It's still an accolade on your resume and your whole line of work, your body of work over the years.
Yeah, but I think you can replace that accolade with the skills competition, because everybody's not going to be invited to the skill competition the same way everybody's not invited to the home run derby. I think if you're invited to the skills competition, look, it's still about a business. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said, if it's not making money, then you got to do away with it.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Fig. The only thing is, if you're on defense, how do you do a skills competition? It's great for skills competition. You're on offense because you can throw the ball, everything else. But if you're on defense, how do you check who's the best linebacker?
You asking me to go beyond the level of my expertise and what it is, how they gonna iron this whole thing out. I have no idea. But guess what? They gonna figure out something, because here's the thing: the Pro Bowl ain't working, so they got to come up with something.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I don't agree.
I don't think I've ever watched the Pro Bowl. How many of y'all on here, Talent and Frank? How many of y'all ever watched the Pro Bowl, or when's the last time you watched one? I don't know.
But here's my thing.
Over 15 years ago.
Even though a lot of people don't watch a Pro Bowl, there got to be a compromising way for it to continue on and maybe not be that money grab that they thought it was potentially going to be, but yet there should be money because the revenue that's created throughout the season, you could put a few jingles to the side to do a Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl, how many celebrities we know that do a golf weekend? And they're paying to bring people in, they put them up, they feeding them, blah, 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 for the
And
sake
it's always in Hawaii. It's really lavish and everything else. Rodney, what do you think about the Pro Bowl being over, and how did the NFL, what do they do? Because now the NFL will be the only major sport. Go ahead.
Well, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, effectively the Pro Bowl, if figures right, the Pro Bowl as we know it over the past 5 or 10 years has been changing anyway. No, they're out there, they're going through the motion. Nobody wants to get hurt. They make too much money to get hurt. So how do we change that? They're just not calling it the Pro Bowl. This still the Pro Bowl, but instead of a football game, they're going to play this flag football. And how about this? People still going to get hurt.
Yeah, they will.
You can still hurt an ankle or a stress fracture, a different injury because it's a different game. So you got to be wary of that. But it won't be no collision injuries,
right?
In flag football. So I think like they had a quarterback stuff, and stuff for the defense. I think they were effectively changing the Pro Bowl. So to say that there won't be a Pro Bowl and there won't be like a destination for the guys to go, it will be. I think so.
All right. In other news, T, the game I was looking forward to all weekend long, man, was Miami versus Buffalo. So look at this. Josh Allen threw for 400 yards, 2 TDs. They had time of possession 3-1, and Buffalo still lost. You know what I mean? They still lost, but everything's talking about another news item. Everybody's talking about Tua. I can't even pronounce his last name. He got hit, thrown to the ground. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. And when he fell on the ground, he bumped his head, and then in the first half, and he came back in the second half. Everybody's talking about how fast he was able to come in, and is the concussion protocol really working? And the NFLPA is diving into this game. So 2 things to talk about this game. One, what's your thoughts about the Buffalo losing in the 100-degree heat after Josh Allen threw for 400 yards? And 2, Tua's bumping his head and coming back second half. What's your thoughts, Steve?
Well, first of all, Buffalo should have lost. That. But every good team got to get shaken up right now. It's week 3. So they got to shake things up to mess with gamblers like myself. They can't make it look easy and make me have my picks easy. They know what I'm betting. So they know what they're doing. As far as the bumping of the head and coming back in the same game, that don't sound like they use the protocol at all to me. Concussion protocol, if he's able to come back at just the difference of a half, that's a little bit amount of time. Somebody wanted to win that game that bad. And if they're rightfully so, they should look into it just to make sure, just to double check, because it's put in place for a reason. And if you think NFL got CTE problems now, if they find out that you just, flying over it and disregarding it, they're going to have a bigger lawsuit than they had and they already started.
They sure are. But Tyreek Hill was the star of the game, Fig. We saying that Tyreek Hill was literally Kansas City's golden boy? Are we saying that Josh Allen played too much? What are we saying about that? And what are we saying about Tua knocking his head down and coming back in the second half? What's your 2 thoughts on that?
The NFL is going to do what the NFL is going to do to make money. Teams are going to do what they're going to do to win games, to facilitate winning that money. And to this day, I don't care what the facade is or what kind of thing that they want to put up. The players still don't get the amount of respect or attention that they deserve. Like, if that had been another position player, they might not have come back in the game. But because it was the quarterback and because he was so necessary to facilitate the win, they let him come back into the game when in all actuality, he probably should not have. And Tyreek Hill, we all know, is an amazing football player. He probably has track speed, what we consider track and field speed, and he's just an incredible receiver, man. He just blows the doors off of everybody that's trying to guard him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Well, Rodney Prager, is Tyreek Hill the main reason why Miami is winning these games? And what's your thoughts on Tua knocking his head?
No, Tyreek Hill is not the only reason. I mean, these guys are really putting together some wins, and whether we like what's his name or not, he is winning games. You know, Tagliarover,
Yeah.
and
Red Rover.
he's doing his stuck thizzle. But the head injury, we can't assume that they didn't evaluate it, and I think a lot of us are starting there. They didn't go, oh, this is not a concussion. Somebody had to say that for him to go back in the game. And now after the fact, do you go back in time and question that person? If that's what they want to do, then so be it. But you don't get to continue the game. Once somebody says, oh, that's not a concussion, there is no concussion protocol.
Right.
So whoever evaluated him, you can check that person. But if he's got a concussion right now, Monday, then you got a problem. But if he don't, then you know the guy gets to go on and play the game.
Well, Miami's 3-0. So however you look at it, Miami's 3-0. Now let's look at the only other 3-0 team, and that's the Eagles. So with the Eagles being 3-0, T, what's your take on Justin Herbert? Devontae Smith, Justin Herbert. Jalen Hurts, you know, he balled out. Devontae Smith balled out. The Eagles had off to a very, very impressive start, man. They ended up beating Washington 24-8. What's your take on the Eagles being 3-0 along with Miami? The only two teams 3-0.
Is Washington.
Okay.
This week didn't really count. They didn't impress me with this shutout there with Washington's win. It's a big win overall, but it is Washington, so I don't think their skills were tested. But if you put them up against everybody else right now, NFC, they're talking about they're the best team in the NFC. Now, I come out with my best after week 6. So this is halfway through, because the same way you can say they're the best right now, if they lose the next 3, everything changes.
Yeah.
So right now, it's too early for me, and I don't really count this because Commanders they're as garbage as they name right now. Only team worse than the Commanders, Chicago, with Rodgers.
Fig, Jalen Hurts.
We're 2-1.
Hold on, Rodney. I'm gonna get to you in a second. Fig, Jalen Hurts is literally in MVP conversation along with Lamar Jackson, Tua, a couple other people. What's your take right now? The Eagles are 3-0 right now. They're the only other 3-0 team. What's your take on this, bro?
I'm gonna do a Nostradamus again. Here we going with the Figadamus, and I'm sort of agreeing along the lines of what Talent said. In about another 5 weeks, the skinny is going to be. They are who we thought they were. And that's pretty much it, man. Listen, the Eagles got out of the gate quickly, but the schedule still has to be played. You call people who you want the first 3 weeks, and they still got a lot of football left to be played, and I don't think it's going to be as favorable now. I mean, later as it is now. The one caveat to it, I think Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens are going to be really good, but they need some defensive backs. The defensive backs are really suspect. If Baltimore loses, it's not going to be because of the offense. It'll definitely be because of the defensive side of the ball.
Rodney Perry, the Eagles are 3-0. What's your take on the Eagles being 3-0 this early on right now, and Jalen Hurts literally being an MVP conversation as they defeat the Washington Commanders yesterday? What's your take on this?
The Eagles are who they said they were. The Eagles are good, man. The Jalen Hurts looks amazing. The kid is playing lights out there. Their offense look good. Their defense look good. The Eagles, they beat up Carson Wentz like they was on the practice field.
Mm-hmm.
They was not playing, man. Them boys came to play the game. I hate the Eagles. They booed Santa Claus, for God's sakes. But the Eagles are looking good. I like the young black quarterback running that team. He looks great out there. Look, a lot of us have eyes of last year, and we look at.
Oh,
My bad.
right.
Somebody tried to call me. We look at these games like this is yesteryear. This ain't yesteryear. Miami is the truth, and them damn Eagles is the truth. And don't forget, them Bears is the truth.
I think before this year is out, we're gonna find Tua has taken it in his Tagovailoa.
Tell it. In other news, Lamar Jackson right now is also literally up for MVP conversation. Lamar Jackson got 5 TDs yesterday. The Baltimore Ravens ended up beating New England. What's your take on Baltimore right now? Are we considering them literally top? Like the only blemish on their record is what happened with them in Miami last week, and that's not even the offense's fault. That was the defense's fault. The defense couldn't stop them. The offense kept producing, but the defense couldn't stop Miami. What's your take on this, bro?
Well, right now, today I love them today. They beat your team, so that makes me feel very warm inside, Frank. So right now I love them. This guy, but Mike Sean called this. Mike Sean said this was the type of season that he was going to be doing. He said, guarantee he's going for the MVP because of the whole contractual thing he's been going with to make, a statement and to even raise those Bucs up. Now, we said it also. How he goes, how this season goes, is whether he made a big mistake not getting that work done, that contract work done ahead of time, or if the gamble pays off and he gets even more guaranteed millions or tens of millions on the next contract extension. So it's a gamble, but right now, like I said, it's early, but 3 weeks in, he's on target.
Yeah, I got to say, the more this dude is balling out, the more Baltimore is looking real crazy by not paying this dude. They better come up with some kind of contract because, literally, he's leading the NFC in the most rushes and touchdowns and passes right now and breaking records as a QB right now. They would have probably got a discount compared to what they're going to have to pay towards the end of the season. I don't know. What's your take?
Absolutely right, Frank. Everything that you and Talon said is absolutely right. I think Lamar Jackson, he scored 5 touchdowns this week. The week before against Miami, it was, maybe 5. And then I think the week before, I think he may have got 2. So right now, between rushing and passing, he has about 12 touchdowns. I think he has 10 passing touchdowns so far within 3 games. And the yards are just off the chain. This kid, listen, when they say he's a human video game, that's exactly what he is. The only blemish on the Baltimore Ravens, like I said before, is their defensive backs. If they get that shored up, the Baltimore Ravens are very difficult to contend with because this kid is passing well. They have a nice running game, and he's damn near uncut. He damn near you don't get no sacks on Lamar Jackson because he's gonna outrun the defensive line and backs and stuff like that. So yeah, man, you better pay him now. Pay him now.
Rodney
because
Perry.
next year,
yeah. Rodney Perry, it hurts my heart to say this, but he was literally going to be a New England Patriot about 3 years ago, and the Patriots passed on him. But anyway, he's leading right now in the NFL passing yards, TDs, throw yards. He's leading them in all the QB categories right now. He should be 3-0. They should be 3-0. What's your take right now on Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson is the cornerstone of my fantasy team. So I'm watching him every week. He's getting me 50 points, 40 points. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the people that wasn't on board. Everybody. Wasn't nobody on board with Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. But here they go. Everybody. Hey, where you guys going? Yeah, my name's Lamar. Get on board. Hey, Lamar, jump on. This guy they're calling run plays for him. They're calling, it ain't no broken play. It's a running back. He's a running back. And what was the biggest hit on Lamar? He had no touch. Now he's got touch. He's got touch around the end zone. Man, this guy may be the best quarterback in the NFL. He may be if he can I think Talon said it best. If this guy can go 5 games and walk out of there 5 or 6-1 with touch around the end zone, running the ball, he already got 100 yards a game every game. It's ridiculous. He's about to change the whole game. They will pay him $300 million.
He's gonna get that guaranteed. Watson. He's gonna get that Deshaun Watson guaranteed contract before it said that.
They're gonna have to pay him more than they paid Deshaun.
Yeah, good point. But I'll tell you this: if he don't get it, he will leave in a year. I can't.
They're not gonna even have a conversation the season over. And he did something smart. He said, "I'm not talking this no more to the season." So they're gonna have to pay him come March.
Oh yeah. The amount of money they're gonna have to pay him is gonna be ridiculous too. It's gonna be definitely more than Deshaun Watson. Rodney Perry was dead right with that one.
Hey, take my box down. I'm walking in the house.
All right. You take your box down, Rodney Perry. Rodney Perry's gone. He's walking in the house. All right.
Hey, Frank. Rodney need to get out of the car. He ain't want you to see. He ain't put no lotion on them ashy knees.
In other news, T, my man, Aaron Rodgers delivered yesterday, but I was very happy about this too, because people might be like, why you do it if you're a Patriots fan? Because I'm still mad at Tom Brady for leaving, so that's a whole different conversation. But Tampa Bay lost to Green Bay on a 2-point conversion. Tampa Bay had the game. Tom Brady did what Tom Brady does, comes back and, with 3 minutes left to go of the game, came back down, ended up almost tying. But guess what? They couldn't convert in the 2-point conversion because they literally fumbled with the penalty, delay of game penalty to push the game back. Your thoughts on Tampa Bay losing to Green Bay, and what's your thoughts on that 2-point conversion miss with Tampa Bay? And, of course, let's not forget this either. There was a delay of game penalty twice, but it got called the second time, and that's what made them have to go 5 yards back. What's your take on that, G?
Listen, man. These penalties. You watched the games yesterday, man. Errors and penalties. Like, you don't even hear the word error too much except in baseball. But yesterday, a lot of these games came down to penalties and errors. And the penalties, like you just said, make you go back 5 yards. That 5 yards be the difference sometimes. Sometimes just that little 5 yards, I know it sounds like nothing, there's 100-yard field, but sometimes that be the difference. So I think that basically, Frank, we're coming up on week 4. If we don't cut down and see these penalties for these yards that push people back, or these errors, like I just said, those teams are going to be the ones with go over the rest of the season. The ones who figure it out and clamp it down, because that's what week after week supposed to be. That's what the tape's about and all that good stuff right there. But I look forward not seeing this type of stuff again. You ain't gonna see it next week.
Yeah, I think you're right about that part. But
week 4 is to figure it out.
But Fig, Tampa Bay had the ball right when they were blowing the whistle. I don't know if you saw the game. When they were blowing the whistle, Fournette was coming in literally, and they said, they blew the whistle. Said nope, delay a game penalty. You got to do it again. Got at 5 yards, messed them up. They were headed literally for overtime, messed up the whole thing. You thinking anything less than Tampa Bay? Because they did look like they had a phenomenal defense. What's your take?
Well, what happened was Tom Brady, he was spending a lot of time with the children. Right before the game, they were playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. And that's what happened at the end of the game. They playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, and they got caught. And the referee said, "Okay, now you gotta go back. You gotta take some steps back because they're trying to take a few yards forward. They had to go back." And the thing is that I think what happened is that when you get ready to go in the game and the ref tell you to go back, the reason he made him go back because he didn't say "may I."
Stupid.
Red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. May I? No giant steps here. You can't take no giant steps.
All right, so on that joke, I will keep it moving.
Yo, Frank, did it look like they were playing? Listen, Didn't it look like that was the game that they was playing? Like they go a few yards forward, then you had to go back, then you come forward.
Yeah,
Then it looked like, that's what it looked like to me. That's what we played when I was a kid growing up. So that's what it looked like.
I don't know about red light, green light, but it did look stupid. But I would say this too: the defense on both of those teams look phenomenal. That's like I'm like they're gonna be back. They're gonna see each other again. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so Josh Allen lost yesterday. Tom Brady lost yesterday, and Patrick Mahomes lost yesterday too. They were upset. Kansas City lost in a game that nobody saw. I'm sure nobody saw this coming by the Colts because the Colts were 0-2 before going to the game. So do you think they missing Tyreek Hill because they made some costly mistakes? But I just don't see them losing that game if Tyreek Hill's playing that game. See, what's your take? See,
I mean, Tyreek playing that game, man, like that kind of game that you definitely. I can't see it coming in. I agree with you on that part right there. But I think it's the type of, like I said, man, week 3, I know these teams, Brady included, even Aaron Rodgers. As Aaron Rodgers, to me, I thought would have given, there were 2 touchdowns, but I thought they would have did a lot more and went a little crazy because he gets up for that competition like that. But again, it's week 3, Frank, and the Brady, the Tyreek Hill, and all those situations you're looking at right now, give it a week, 2 tops. You're not going to see this again. You're not going to see these losses that shock Buffalo lost. We damn sure ain't see the Colts whooping ass the way they was, and look at the Jaguars 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Look how many points are being put up. But by next week, 2 weeks the latest, this is the figure me out time. So I don't get used to it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so I'll ask you the same question, Fig. Do you think Kansas City is really missing Tyreek Hill because they made a lot of mistakes yesterday, and I don't think they make all those mistakes if Tyreek Hill is playing with them. I just don't see it.
I don't know if it was Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, first off, is irreplaceable. You can't replace that type of speed and talent like that. So, yeah, he's irreplaceable, but they're still a formidable team. I just think, look, sometimes you get caught up into playing the team, the name of the team that you're playing, or you get to play their record. You know what I mean? You look at them and say, oh, this should be an easy one. But at the end of the day, that other team on the other side is really struggling to get a win, and they're playing like at their best, and you basically mailing it in. You know what I mean? It's hard not to, no pun intended, but remember when the Cleveland Browns was winning 1 and 2 games a year? When you're going into Cleveland, it's kind of hard to take them serious because you know that that's an easy team to beat. And I think that's what happened yesterday. I think there was a few missteps because everybody wasn't on their A game 100% dialed in. And I don't think you're going to see this going forward from Kansas City.
Rodney Perry, what's your take on literally Kansas City losing to the Colts yesterday, who was 0-2 going into yesterday's game? Like they didn't win, they hadn't won anything. What's your take?
Take your glasses off from last year.
Okay.
These ain't the Colts from last year. These are not the Colts from 5 years ago. They couldn't win a game. These ain't the same guys. Kansas City, if you're an NFL team, a professional team, and you don't take a team serious, shame on you. This is the in freaking NFL. Everybody is trying to be a murderer, a killer. These are killers. Ask their wives.
Ask their wives.
Leave these boys alone, man. You can't sleep on no team right now. Miami. You can't sleep. You can't sleep on Buffalo. Buffalo still is horrible. I don't care what nobody say, but they winners.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna find a way to lose, but they winners.
That is a 60 Minutes analogy. I like that. I like that, Rodney Perry.
Stay with me, Frank Holder. New England Patriots. We love them. They've been in our forethought for the better part of the last 2 decades. It's no surprise when they lose no more. We can't look at them through the same lens. They're not the same team. Belichick is 100.
Facts.
I love the old teams, guys, but the new teams are coming in. Before long, we're going to be talking about Houston. Mark my words. Not this season. Remember this? Remember the Los Angeles who? Rams, Chargers, all viable teams. Everybody got a shot this year, man. I'm telling y'all. Guess who else is good? The great Northwest up Detroit. The Lions. The Lions they not winning yet, but they will. Talk about a team that's gonna be good at the end of the season. Win some money on the Lions, talent.
We're gonna get to the Lions. We're gonna get to the Lions. I think Rodney Perry put it out there like the best that Rodney Perry does. He put out everything out there, and he ain't lied about a lot of things. Let me ask you about this, man. T, the Jaguars, they won yesterday. My man Trevor Lawrence finished for 28-39, 262 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and they destroyed the Chargers. Man, I would have lost all kind of money yesterday if I was betting. I didn't see that coming at all. I literally if I was going to bet, I would have bet on the Chargers. But the Jaguars, 2 weeks in a row.
I'm going to see that $20 just because you think about bet.
No, don't do that. See, what's your take, man? The Jaguars won against the Chargers, man. Justin Herbert looked horrible, and Trevor Lawrence looked good.
Well, here's the thing, bro. Like 2 weeks in a row, they messed up a couple of $1,000. That's the team that they were supposed to get their ass kicked. Let's just say it bluntly, both times, and they did not, and they cost me my money both weeks. And if they do it one more time, Frank, I'm gonna be the newest Jaguar fan. Gonna get jerseys. I might move out.
Wow.
2 weeks in a row. Three is crazy.
Big, what's your take on the Jaguars winning yesterday? Because the Jaguars I didn't see this in any way, shape, or form. What's your take on this, Big?
I think it has something to do with what Rodney said, man. I think the teams named after animals seem to be doing well. The Bears, the Jaguars, you know what I mean? The Dolphins. It's just like you name after an animal, man. It seems like your team is doing well. It's just like maybe that's how we ought to bet this year. Just bet on the animal. You know what I mean? You say, oh man, which team is named after an animal? Yeah, bet that team. You know what I mean? Eagles.
You got a point.
The Eagles are doing well. Everything is named after some kind of animal. The Eagles are 3-0. The Dolphins, the Jaguars won. I don't know, man. It's one of those years.
It definitely is. Fig.
You hit me in the head with that one. That was nice. That was nice for now.
Go ahead,
you got me all up in the face and neck area with that one. That was good.
What's your take on the Jaguars right now, RP? What you think?
Look, I'm not ready to get on the Jaguar bandwagon. You know, it's bad enough that the Dolphins is doing good. I don't want to just be down in Florida. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they still missing a piece or two here or there. But these are all men. So I'm never surprised when a man decides he's tired of getting his ass whooped. Okay? Every man eventually gonna get tired of that, and they're gonna figure out a way to not lose as bad. And I think that's what we're seeing with the Jaguars. They're just not losing like they used to. But I mean, I think we all said it earlier. It's a long season. Who can keep it up? Who are the teams that can keep it up? You know, is Aaron Rodgers gonna keep losing? Is it over? Is any of the greats that we've been watching all these 2 decades? Can they keep it going? I think some of them can, some of them can't. We'll see.
And before we jump into the NBA, last one I want to talk about the NFL. We got a couple more things I want to talk about, and then we have to spread the conversation to tomorrow. Is the Raiders started 0-3. The Raiders are 0-3. They lost to the Titans yesterday. I didn't see that happening. I thought that literally the Raiders would at least be 2-1 by this point right now, but not 0-3. And you smiling because why are you smiling about this, T?
Well, I'm smiling because I have a a couple of bets going that my team's gonna have a better at the end of the season. The Jets have a better record than the Raiders because everybody, these two huge Raider fans that I work with, the Stress Factory, just swore they had it all, and they thought I was crazy as hell to even make that bet. I seen them last night, Frank. First of all, they hide in the back office. They don't want to talk to me. I talked to one. I thought he was going to press charges. You know, you just talk to somebody, hey, buddy. He said, get your goddamn hands off me. I said, yo, we taking it like that? So I'm smiling because I'm glad they're getting asked. Like this is, everybody thought they had all the eggs ready in the basket. You can't, like Rodney said, I'm a reluctantly agree with Rodney. Great point several times over the days. These are old teams. This is a new, and we should know better. Being avid fans watching all these years, we should know better because we're watching the game change in front of our face. We're watching quarterbacks move different. We're watching the linemen come in different, running back. The whole game is shifting literally in front of our face. But yet we're expecting the teams of old to be the teams of old. He's right. He got a point.
Yeah, he's absolutely right with that. Well, Raiders are 0-3, Fig. But the Titans look horrible too. Like the Titans are 1-2. Let's be honest. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I know I didn't. I had the Raiders doing really well. I had the Raiders being 3-0 at this point, and I had the Chargers being at least 2-1. Both wrong. What's your take on the Raiders?
I think we're getting back to the time, back to the olden days where "Bring your cotton picking hands off me" was the real insult. You know what I mean? Somebody say that to you back in the 60s. You were like, what? Are you calling me a ninja? Because that's pretty much what it was. Get your cotton picking hands off of me, ninja. And the teams that was good back then, those are the teams that we need to look at.
Cotton picking.
That's what he had to say about the Raiders being 0-3. He said the cotton picking hand. What's your take on this of our Raiders being 0-3?
Let's not count the Raiders out just yet. They got a great squad. They can score, and what you can't do is count out them damn Titans. That's what you can't count out. Titans had not been running the ball till this week. I know because I got Derrick Henry on my fantasy team, and he had a total of 3 points. Last night he had 11, 12. So the Titans got to do like Cleveland said with Nick Chubb, run the ball. All these little rinky-dink pass plays, that ain't what y'all do. You got to run the damn ball, and you're going to run the Raiders and anybody else get on the other side of it.
Right. I ain't mad at that. You're 100% right. Time is moving real quick. The NBA press day started today. What do you expect from what's your biggest expectation this year that you're looking forward to with the NBA getting ready to get started with the press day today? And what thing you think will shock you? The expectation and shocking.
Well, I think what's going to shock people is the return of Kawhi Leonard. I think that's going to be the biggest shocking thing in the NBA is the return of Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if you guys paid attention, but boy Paul George started going vocal the last few days, talking about how in shape and healthy he is and to look out. He put the league on notice. He said, you're going to get the best of Paul George. And that was his words. You're going to get the best PG, pretty much of my career. You're going to get that this year. And watch out for that boy King. Kawhi's coming back healthy. That's going to be the biggest shock.
I think you're 100% right because John Wall is also there, ready to prove a mission. And his story that he came out with is shocking too. And we're gonna talk about that in a couple of days. Fig, what's your expectation? Today's NBA press day. What's your expectation for the NBA season? And what you think will shock everybody this year?
Man, what's gonna shock? It's kind of funny that Talent said. And Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that coming back, man. I think what is going to shock people is that these older players are going to finally show their age. You know what I mean? When you're in your 30s, going 32, 33, 34, 35, Your career is winding down. You ain't got no young horses to run with you. You can hang it up. And I think people, fans, and the league is really gonna realize that this year. It's a new day. These young cats is taking over, and these older cats is really going to take a back seat. Those names that we keep putting up on the top echelon, if they ain't got no young horses to run with them so they can rest, they're not going to be the same players that we think they're going to be. I just believe that with all my heart. When you're in your 30s, your recovery time is not the same. When you're in your 20s, you can play a game today and play another game tomorrow at a high level. When you in your mid 30s, you play a high level game today, tomorrow, it ain't so great.
For instance,
Rodney Perry,
for instance, who you talking about, Fig? For instance.
We're talking about Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, the people that talent said.
Rodney Perry, what's your biggest expectation for NBA this year, and who's going to surprise you? Who do you think will surprise everybody else?
Okay. I'm just saying, it's when these older guys. My biggest expectation is for AD to stay healthy for the entire season. If AD can put together a whole season, man, the sky's the limit for the Lakers. And also, what's the other question?
What's your biggest surprise?
If AD can stay healthy for the entire season, I would be so surprised. I mean, the guy has just got, he got fragile limbs, man. And although he's a great player, it's very difficult for him to put it together. I don't know if you spell him. I don't know if you play him more to keep him going, keep him warm. But wow, I sure wish AD could put it together, man. I think the guy could have a career season.
All right, one more question for each of y'all. Oh, actually, let me throw you my biggest surprise. My biggest surprise is since the Phoenix Suns are trading Jay Crowder, he's going to be traded by the end of the week. I don't think the Phoenix Suns are going to get as far as everybody expected. That's going to be my biggest surprise.
I'm not opposed to that. I think that's great.
Yeah, and my expectations, I expect, and I'm going to throw this out there for the Lakers fans, I expect the Lakers to go further this year than they did last year. I think they will. I think they'll
make the play-in, Frank?
Yeah, I think they will.
Wow. What's that about?
And the reason I'm gonna say why, because at the end of the day, I think the Lakers are gonna make some kind of phenomenal trade before in the next 30 days, 40 days. Then they're gonna make a trade that's gonna affect their team, because what they need is a point guard ball handler. And if AD stays healthy and LeBron stays healthy, they'll be back in the mix. Their problem was injuries. That's my expectation and surprise. Now, on the flip side is who played good last year, because the time is moving. We said real fast, and I wanted to get into Aaron Judge before we can. Who played good last year that you think is going to bottom out this year? Who you think is going to be like, you know what? They ain't.
I think there's more bottom in the barrel of Russell Westbrook. I think you think he hit the bottom, but there's so much more to the bottom.
Get more bottom. More bottom.
I think the horrific season we just witnessed was only the fifth floor, right? Just 4 more floors down. But no, other than I think, I actually, to be honest with you, think he's going to do slightly better this year, because I think that's embarrassed him amongst his colleagues. But who I look forward to take a dip, really, to be honest with you, and you can call me racist, but the white guys. I think Joker. I think him and the little man on Dallas.
Luka.
Him and Luka are going to take a little step back. Not rock bottom, but I think they're going to get a little knocked off that pedestal.
I don't agree with that. Take it out. Luka is coming into camp the best shape of his career, because he's been balling all summer. I think Luka's going to probably be way better.
Yeah, but he's a nut, though. It always catches up. Even Kobe, the great Kobe, had to come around to being a different type of player to get the accolades that he got. This guy got to come. I don't think he's coming around in one more season.
All right, okay. Fig, who's going to bottom out this year that was good last year?
Frank, I don't know about an individual player, man, and I have to apologize in advance.
Team. I'm talking about team. What team do you think?
I don't think the Celtics are going to do that well because of all of the drama and stuff that they're going through with the coach and stuff like that. I think that may be a little too much for everybody to overcome, because I mean you got to have your head in the game. You know what I mean? And I think that
his head was
pause.
Hey, coach, put your head.
I should have said your mentality. I think the whole culture is going to be affected because of this thing that happened.
Or they're all going to galvanize this behind this young coach and play much better than they did.
That's a possibility too. But I think the reason and the reason that I say that, Frank, is because they weren't doing well. Ime Udoka comes in. He changes the culture of the team, and then they catapult to the NBA Finals. And I think the absence of this guy is really going to affect the team. And that's the reason why I say it.
You make a great point, Fig, but this was also happening during that. This was real time happening during their run. You feel me? We just know about it. We just know about it now. The team knew.
Yeah, the boys knew. So Rodney Perry, who do you think
he was probably banging chicks? He was probably banging chicks during the coaches meeting. Hey, look, guys. I'm sorry. All right.
Who's gonna bottom out?
Man, it's so many that got the potential to fall apart. Mavs could fall apart. Miami could fall apart. I say Miami. Is out of their window. They done supped up everything Jimmy Butler had. Udonis Haslem can't yell at nobody no more. I say, and the other boy, Oda Belipo, he headed back to the WNBA. It's just gonna be one of those.
Oladipo, he gonna be the new Juwana man.
he said he gonna get a ring one way or another.
Last question.
They gotta get their head in the game, Frank.
Yeah, I know, right? Last question.
Hey, Frank, is it true? Is it true? I heard that the Boston Celtics have banned the use of any type of cubicles in the office. You can only survive. We need straight transparency.
Open floor plan.
There's an open concept. All meetings are going to be at half court.
Transparency.
Yeah. So Aaron Judge, you think Aaron Judge is going to get the record? We got last question with baseball, but you think Aaron Judge is going to break the record? Because now he got a handful of games left, man. He's getting close. He ain't even tied the record yet. You think he's going to break it?
Yeah, because remember what I said the last time we brought this up. When hitters, the thing with hitters is they don't need a bunch of games. When they hit, they hit. So that one game, if he get on that one game, he'll do it in one game. It's nothing. Real hitters, they don't just hit one. They hit grand slams. They hitting at the right time. And once that bat get to swinging, bro, that's why we always say in New York, we're like, yeah, when we win a certain game, depending on how we win, we be like, yeah, our bats were swinging. You know what I mean? Meaning we were hitting tonight, so everybody was hitting. It's one of those things. It's like a contagious thing in the universe, man. It's an energy you can't tap into. So he really only needs that one good game. He'll get you in that game.
Fig, do you think if he does not break the record, he still gets that contract that he's been trying to play for?
Frank, 60 home runs in a season. They better pay him. If he don't get near another hit, they better pay him. Because guess what? The fact that he did what he did this year means he's box office. That means that not only are the fans going to come out to see him when the Yankees are playing, the national TV contracts, commercials, advertisers, they're going to want to see the games that this kid is playing. That means he's bringing in the money to qualify what it is that he's getting paid. They better pay him. And I'll say this. I think he'll break the record if the pitchers pitch him. Because, the pitchers, they don't have to pitch him something to hit. They can walk him. They can do whatever. If the pitchers pitch, I think he'll break the record.
So, Fig, you think he'll break the record, huh? Okay.
Yeah, if the pitchers don't intentionally walk him or give him balls.
Right, bro. You think he's gonna break the record? You think he's gonna tie the record? And and what's your thoughts on him getting the contract he's trying to seek?
I think the contract is going to come. Everything, all your fondest desires will be granted, young man. You know, if he makes if he makes the record, which he should, it just be an easier yes. If he doesn't make it, it's still an easy yes. I mean, you don't want to lose a guy capable of this type of hit. And how about this? If he don't get it this year, he'll start hitting them bitches again next year.
The thing is, will he do it in a Yankees uniform? I guess that'd be the only thought, bro. Like, will he be a Yankee to do it? Because he's trying to get paid, not a little bit paid. He's trying to be the highest paid.
The Yankees pay dudes, though. Yankees historically pay people.
Yeah, and they try not to be. That's the problem. They try not to be. That's the problem. So we'll see if he gets his money. But I think people, if he doesn't get that contract he wants, people will be upset if he's in another uniform besides the Yankee uniform, which I don't see happening. But it's possible. He's threatening. He's threatening.
Hey, listen,
I know who will get him too. The Boston will snap him up.
Real fast.
No, you know what? You know what's funny? You know who started paying players now? The Mets. So he won't even have to change his residence.
Yeah, he could be there. That's the show. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We got to talk about the rest of the NFL games. Especially, we got to talk about the Bears. We got to talk about what's going on with the Seahawks. We got to talk about just so many other games we got to get to. Man, we also got to talk about
tonight. We got to talk about tonight's game.
Dallas tonight.
Yeah, the Giants could end up being 3-0 tonight too after they play the Cowboys. We got to talk about the rest of the NFL games, which we're gonna do tomorrow. So let's look at it like this. Let's look like we're gonna come back and have part 2 to this show. Will be tomorrow to finish up seeing what we're gonna talk about. T, holla at me. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey, check out my new webpage I just put up 10 minutes ago. Get your head in the game.com. We're there. We set up for all the coaches and executives. I mean, each man to talk. You know, we get you back on track. You know what I mean? No matter if she's black, white, we're there for all our players. So get your head in the game.com or Instagram, calendar comedian, whichever one works for you.
Hey, whichever one works. Yo, Ime Udoka cracked me up over the weekend because the person who was scheduling his travel plans was the same person he was having an affair with. So he was like, okay, make sure my wife does not bump into you. So make sure you schedule that right. All right. I mean, just make sure you schedule that right. I was like, this dude. Fig, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
You can follow me at Comedian Fig on all social media platforms. And I'm telling you guys, I'm starting this new company. I'm selling hats. And on the front of it I'm gonna put the name Jimmy. So they're gonna be Jimmy hats.
I like that. I like that while you playing. I like that. I like that.
That's gonna be a
selling Jimmy hats.
I would wear that.
That's gonna sell out. Just do it for the joke alone. What you walk around with?
Little kids don't even know what it means. I also got a new website. Just put up a talent. It's called Open Floor Plans Don't Matter. And can't wait to you got to hit me up. No, all jokes aside, man, great show today. I'm glad y'all waited for me, man.
Yeah, great show.
Y'all have a great rest of the day.
Y'all do the same. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Box Seats. We're gonna do a part 2 to this show. Box Seats are repeated every day. 7 and 11 is on the Humor Mill channel. Also tomorrow we're gonna talk about a couple of things with the NBA season because the NBA press season's kicked off today. They're gonna make some trades. Jay Crowder's gonna probably be in the biggest news because we're gonna want to find out where he goes to. So we'll talk to y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Oladipo, WNBA.
Oladipo.